For any questions, I recommend for general queries, I ask everyone to post it here, maybe regarding homework or regarding lecture. If the same question raised by another student, I don't want to one-to-one answering. So this is the common channel. Anyone can answer here. OK, if somebody posts the queries, where is the lecture resources? If you know the answer, you can also post your answer there. OK, this is a common queries and discussion, but personal one-to-one, you can give me an individual chat or email to me or a TA. Purma, where is Purma? Okay, Purma is there. She is our full-time instructor assistant for this course. Okay, so me and her both will be here to help you. And I would like, how many of you familiar with Java Swing already? Java Swing, only few. Okay, but if you are not familiar, we are going to do the project with the Java Swing. Okay, so you need a Java Swing knowledge which covered in FPP, but you are directly coming to the MPP course. We covered advanced Java Swing. So I recommend this week, those who are not familiar with Java Swing or you want to refresh the Java Swing knowledge, I put my videos of FPP here. Okay, go to the general under files. There are two videos, Java Swing Basics 1 and Basics 2. I recommend everyone to watch this on or before this Friday. Daily 20 minutes, if you spend, you can complete it. OK, so not more than that. These two lessons you must watch. Then only I can cover the advanced topic is easy for me. So I recommend everyone to watch this video this week according to your convenient schedule. So this will be under general channel. There are two videos, Basics 1 and Basics 2. So you can watch this video. OK, let's start with the syllabus. Microsoft Teams, this channel. I put the link on the welcome email. OK, you can find the link where it is. OK, under general channel, under files. OK, you can see it under files. So I put the today's course overview chart, the handout which I passed here. Everything is here for only today. OK, but usually all the resources are available only in Sakai. OK, the first day, if anybody have an issue with Sakai, you can refer on Teams. That's what. So all resources are here only. I'm not going to update every day on Teams. So only this is the day one resources and these videos, because this video I cannot upload in Sakai because of large size. OK, so only these resources you can refer it from here. Then another course resources. This is your Sakai course site, CS401 2022 12A 12D. OK, so once you logged in, if you cannot able to see here, you can go to the site and you can search here CS401. Then you can see, because you have only one site, you are all the first batch, right? So when you start more courses, you can see multiple courses on the same site. You can tick on this star. So if you click on this star, always it's visible once you log in on Sakai. OK, if you don't put a tick, maybe every time you need to search. Otherwise, better put a star here, then it will be visible always once you logged in. OK, so under resources, today the first thing we are going to discuss is our syllabus and schedule. So there is a syllabus and schedule folder. I send you the syllabus, right, through your email. How many you get a chance to read that file? OK, good. Oh, many. I appreciate it. OK, so that's what we are going to look at. You can find the syllabus and the schedule over here. OK, let's first start with our syllabus. OK, I am your professor, Dr. Renuka Mohanraj. So I'm here from 2014. So more than 8 years, I'm teaching FPP and MPP. OK, so I have good experience in this. OK. Mohanraj's principle, the human brain physiology is the hardware of that cosmic computer, which can create anything through proper programming. So the same way life is here to enjoy. So we are going to start our proper programming with object-oriented programming of Java. So this is your first course. You need to learn the basics of Java. You guys already familiar with Java. That's what you are coming directly to the MPP course, right? So all other courses mostly Java based. If you go to algorithm or software engineering, that's what here it's a most popular object-oriented programming in the world. You can get job, good market. So that's what we prefer to use Java programming language. So this is a complete object-oriented, also functional programming that also we will discuss. So this course will give you a object-oriented programming fundamentals, how to analyze the problem, how to do the design, implementation, everything. Also, you're going to cover the Java 8 futures, that is the last 2 weeks. So this is an objective chart. The first column will tell you what you are going to learn, object-oriented concept, how to develop a small application by identifying the objects from the problem description, and how to draw the diagrams, and how to develop a Java Swing application. That's what your project you're going to do. Then Java 8 fundamentals. Also, we are developing our consciousness. We do meditation in class before lunch and before the end of the day. So that way you're going to develop your consciousness too. The second column will tell you how you're going to learn all these things by doing your homework assignments as well as your project. So that way you gain the knowledge. And how can I evaluate your performance through your quiz as well as your midterm, final, and the project. That way I can analyze your performance. So the first column, topics. The second column is about how you are going to gain the knowledge. The third column is how I'm going to analyze your performance. Okay. So topics covered. What is object and class? Everything we are going to cover. We are going to learn how to analyze the problem requirements and how to develop a design, and several UML diagrams we are going to discuss: class diagram, sequence diagram, and object diagram. Other diagrams we are not focusing in this course. And if you have the diagram, we are going to learn how to convert into a Java implementation. You're gaining more knowledge and depth knowledge about inheritance, interfaces, and polymorphism, good and bad things, when to go for interface, when to go for inheritance, all those knowledge you are going to gain. And some of the principles, open close principles, Liskov substitution principles, also you're going to learn. And the Java 8 futures, lambdas, and streams. How can I use exception handling with lambdas and streams? That also we are focusing in this course. Annotation processing we are discussing. That is very, very important when you take an enterprise architecture course, the basics covered in MPP. And how to work with thread and Java generics also we are covering in this. So these are our topics in this. After completing this course, you can able to get the objective, whatever we specified here. You can able to develop some UML diagrams, and you can able to implement the diagrams into Java code, and you can get a knowledge of how, where, and when to use this object-oriented concepts, and how composition is better than inheritance. That also we are going to discuss. And what is the difference between abstract classes and interfaces. Interface we learn pre-Java 8 as well as Java 8. Okay, so both knowledge you are going to gain. And you're going to learn the knowledge of how to develop a GUI application. And so not XML, it comes with Java Swing. So now, sorry, Java FX. Paul Carosa changed in 2021 October. He completely changed to Java Swing. So previous versions, we use Java FX for GUI development. So from the last year, MPP and FPP are standard course. Mostly everybody follow the same syllabus. So Professor Carosa updated with Java Swing. So that's what this is my first batch go with Java Swing. Okay. And when you work with the lambdas and streams, it's like work like a JDBC queries, so that you will learn when we learn lambdas. So it works like a queries. We can work with several collections, maybe a list collection or set collection, map collection. We can work with lambdas and streams. You will gain a knowledge of how to apply JUnit tests for best practices, and also how to use exception handling in Java with the help of lambdas and streams. So this way, you will be getting a complete knowledge, preparing yourself for the software development from this course by applying OOAD knowledge. So after completing this course, you will gain this objective. Okay, so this is my contact office room. If you want to have some personal talk, we will schedule an appointment. We will have a individual one-to-one conversation. And mostly I respond all your email queries or a team chat, whatever you want, you can go with that. Any technical issues, you can generate a ticket through this link. So our daily schedule 10 to 3:15. So 10 to 12:30 morning depends on the day lecture. Okay, if it is less, maybe we'll finish by 12:15. If we have more, it will go until 12:30. So before the lunch, we have 15 minutes meditation, and afternoon before ending the session, we have 20 minutes meditation. So this is your evening schedule. You can plan whatever you want. So at least 2 hours of homework you need to spend with your team. So first 2 weeks is a group assignment. The last 2 weeks is individual. Only first 2 weeks you will be working on groups. Okay. After that, no group work, only individual. Okay. Then recommended to for a good health, go to bed around 9:30. Okay. Minimum 7 hours of sleep is good for your health. Okay. Okay. The course evaluation, lab 10%, project 10%, midterm 40%, final exam 40%. So lab group assignment for first 2 weeks, everybody in the group will get the same score. Okay. But in the second week, I mean the last 2 weeks, individual. So everything is averaged once you are getting a 10 out of whatever the score is. And projects also 10%. You may feel you will be working for 3-4 days on project, just 10%, you may feel very less, but it's a group assignment. We cannot see your potential individually. So only exams, we can able to see your individuality. That's what exam has more score. Even if you cannot complete one assignment due to some health issues or something, it is not going to affect because it's out of 10, right? But the exam is more important. You guys need to give more importance to the exam. Okay. So to move to the next course, you need minimum 83%, which is the B grade. Otherwise, you have to repeat the course, right? Any other questions so far? Okay. I will tell you that later. Okay. Okay, in class exercise, maybe if I keep on talking, it will be boring, right? So in between lecture, you have some in-class exercise. So that way, the course will be more interactive. So that will be integrated in the lecture PPT itself. So every time you can work on some group assignment or individual, some interactive sessions during the lecture you have. And labs, so every day you have some lab. Once the lesson is over, the next day morning, 10 p.m. Next day, 10 p.m. is your, I'm sorry, I forget the deadlines. Okay, let me check. Assignment. Okay, so 10 p.m. is your deadline. Okay, today if I have lecture, the next day 10 p.m. is your deadline. Okay, so which means 28th, right? So tomorrow night 10 p.m. is your deadline. But still I can accept the next day morning 10 a.m. but that is not visible to you. But I can accept until the next day 10 a.m. Okay, this is about every lessons, the same format. Okay, I'm not going to ask you this is the deadline every day. You can check it from the assignments. So here is your open date, and also you can check your due date here. Okay. So for the group assignments, we have 37 students here. Okay, maybe one, if I go for a 3 in each person, so 11 groups, maybe 3 and one group, maybe 4. So instead of that, you could decide either 3 or 4. Okay, whatever you want, you have to decide before lunch or during the lunch time, because this afternoon onwards, you will be working on team. Okay, decide your team this morning and you can let TA know I have a seat. You can fill your name on that list. Okay, so who are all the groups? So 3 or 4. Okay, I recommend to go for this. Usually, generally 2 or 3. So we will go with 3 or 4. Depends on the class size. Okay. And I would like to encourage everyone to do the labs by yourself. Maybe some people have already solution. It is a standard course. Everybody give the same assignments like previous batch. But I recommend if you want to get a better score and you want to get the course objective, you should do the homework. By doing your homework only, you can gain the knowledge. Without doing homework assignment, you cannot gain the course objective. So I recommend you have to do by yourself. That is the success for the course. No cheating. Okay. Do your work, submit. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you cannot complete within the deadline, I will give you an extended deadline for the personal excuses. but I recommend do by yourself. Okay. Okay, that's your group assignment. So when you submit your lab, I will tell you about the assignment submission afternoon. Okay, so you have to submit on behalf of 4 or 3 people. One person can submit. That's enough. Not everybody to should submit. Okay. If, for example, I have 12 teams means I need only 12 submissions on Saha. One person can take a lead on your team for submissions on their name, every submissions. Okay. Okay, so I'll talk about the submission guidelines this afternoon. And professional behavior is important. You guys are doing a master program. So dress code, behave with someone, how you look, behave with someone and talking with the professor or talking with the TA or talk with your group members, everything be professional. And also you have to be on time. That is very, very important. 10 o'clock means you have to be here 10. I will make a name list over there for late attendance this afternoon. If you are late, you can put how many minutes you late. Okay, that way we could able to see your professionalism. Okay, if it is a 10 minutes break during 11 o'clock or something, after 10 minutes you have to be here. Okay, that's punctuality is important. Okay, and do not copy the homework solution from others or from the previous batch. Okay, academic honesty. So during the exam, please don't do any cheating during the exam, just like showing your answer to your friend or helping to your friend. If you do that kind of things or bring something, what is the technical tools, right? Some smart technologies with you to write the exam or something. So if you find out that, immediately you will get NC for that course. You have to repeat the course. No excuse for that. If you do any cheating, definitely you will receive NC wherever you go. This is the rule. Okay, the rule will not be changed. So you have to repeat the course. Then it affects your one block, time, money, everything, right? Be professional. All friendship outside the class, not during the exam. Okay. And the grading scale 93 to 100. You will get only A grade. Okay, we have no A plus for FPP or MPP. Maybe some other course may have A plus. So 93 or 101 with the extra credit, everything is A grade. Okay, so A minus 90 to 92 A minus. So 87 to 89 B plus. This is the minimum requirement to move to the next course. Okay, other courses are B minus 80 to 82 and 77 to 79 C plus, C grade, C minus, below 70 is no credits. Okay. So there are several reference textbooks are appeared here. This textbook I already uploaded. So you need this textbook for the first 2 weeks. You have to do some reading on this textbook, which is available on your Sahai resources. There will be some textbooks. There is the textbooks. Okay, book resources. So you can find under book resources, there are main textbooks. Okay, there are several textbooks. You don't need to buy any textbook. Okay, if you need some reference, you can refer it here. The lecture material is enough, not more than that you require. Okay, something if you want to refer, we uploaded some Java textbooks here. That is enough for the references. Okay, if you want to do more reading, you can refer this. Okay. So we put several textbook references. You can check that one. Okay. So at the end of the course, you need to do the feedback evaluation. 2 course feedback you need to provide during the midterm as well as after the final. So during the midterm, it will be under Sahai. You can see evaluation system. So under this midterm will be feedback available here once time comes. The same way another feedback will comes from smart evaluation. That is end of the course. I will let you know about that at the time. Okay. There are more policies and informations. You can read it. Okay. So at least if you want to be late to some time, you can inform to me, maybe some driving license or doctor appointment, something you have. Let me know in advance. I will mark it as excused. Okay. If you don't inform, it will be an absent. If you inform to me, it will be excused absent. Okay, for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever you want, you can let me know in advance. So maximum for unexcused absences, maximum 3, which means morning, afternoon, both are sessions. 3 sessions you can miss. If you miss more than 3 sessions, it's very difficult to catch up the material. Okay. So for any emergencies, you can miss maximum 3 sessions, not more than that. Okay. So you can read out all those informations about the policies. Any question on the syllabus and schedule? Sorry, syllabus, not schedule, right? Okay. So, yes, quiz is not included for the credits. Okay. I'll tell you when we talk about the schedule. Okay. I'll tell you. Okay. So let's go over the schedule. Okay. We have 4 weeks. It's a block system. Okay. Week 1, lesson 1, we are discussing object-oriented paradigm for building OO system. Okay. Software systems. And afternoon, every day afternoon, you will be working on assignments with your team, but you have to be here. Okay. Not working on your place. Okay. You all need to be here in class. For any excuses or health issue, let me know. You can join online, but otherwise come for the in-person session. So tomorrow we are talking about lesson 2 about association, lesson 3 inheritance and composition on Wednesday. Thursday we'll be discussing on diagrams, sequence diagrams and object diagrams. And Friday we'll be discussing inheritance and abstraction. These are all inheritance interface is not here. Okay. And Saturday, we are going to talk about advanced swing and I'll do the midterm review. Your midterm is on Monday. Okay. So second week of Monday, you will be taking your midterm exam. The portions covered for the midterm exam is lesson 1 to 5. I'm not including Java swing because you will be doing anyhow project. So that's not needed. Only lesson 1 to 5 is covered for your midterm. Okay. And the remaining, whatever I cannot cover by Saturday because you need to prepare for your exam too. Let's see, I will tell you about this day schedule. And we have some quiz. Before that day, I will give you the instruction about the quiz. Okay, maybe Wednesday, I'll tell you about your quiz. For the quiz 1, you're going to take the lesson 1, 2, 3. 3 lessons for your quiz 1. There is no credits for the quiz. Okay, just for a practice. Okay, just you can do the reading. Okay. And week 2, you will be working on complete 4 days for the project. Okay. And the last Saturday, we have second week of Saturday, we have our project presentation with your team. Okay. I'll tell you all those information about project. We will discuss on week 2. Okay. And week 3, we are going to talk about advanced features like Java 8 features. Here we are going to talk about Java 8 interfaces and about object classes and functional programming on the 3rd week Tuesday. And for 3rd week Wednesday, Wednesday and Thursday, 2 days we will be covering on Stream API lesson. And the Friday we are talking about generic. That will be for 2 days, Friday and Saturday. And the 4th week, best practices with Java 8. That was advanced exception handling, threads, annotations, everything is comes on this lesson. Okay, JUnit test, everything. And we will do some review on this day. Then you have 1.5 days time to prepare for your final exam. Okay. Any questions on the schedule? And quiz 2 will be here. Okay. On the 3rd week of Saturday. I'll do the review before the quiz. Okay. Yes. No. For the final, you are going to take from lesson 7 to 10. So the 11 I'm not usually include. So lesson 7 to 10 will be included for your final exam. Any other questions here? Everything is paper based, no machine. Okay, but I'll give you all the API library, hand out everything. You don't need to worry about that part. Okay. Any other questions on the schedule? That's what I said. If you follow my instruction, you will get a good score. Do the homework and do everyday reading. Whatever lecture materials we cover, do some reading and do the homework. Even the homework maybe there are 4 problems means if there are 4 members, one person work on one problem, right? That way you schedule your work. But I recommend after completing all your homeworks, sit together as a team and discuss what you have done, what he has done. On the final, you should know all the homework solutions, not for what you've done. As a group team means you will be working on one thing and another one will working on some other things, right? As a team, after completing, all sit together and see all the solution. Then only you can gain the knowledge. Okay. So if you do this, that's enough. No cheating. Do the homework by yourself. Do regular reading and do the exam. That's enough. No need to do more than that. Okay. Any other questions you have?
Second week, when we still need to come to class to.
Yes, yes. Then only I can see what you are doing, right? If you have any question, you can ask me, and I can see your individuality, what you are working. Every day I'll be sit with you, okay? During the project, every team I'll sit with you to check your progress every day. Okay. Any other questions? Third week of Saturday. Yes, everything in class. If you have some appointments, I think you guys are going for SSN appointment, right? Let me know which day. I'm not sure. Okay. They said December, some dates, right? 7 to 9. I don't know which day you are going. Let me know in advance. Okay. Then we can plan accordingly what we can do. Okay. If many people are going on that day, then I have to postpone my lecture in the afternoon instead of morning. We will plan accordingly. Okay. Let me know in advance. Any other questions?
And Monday we have the midterm examination, so we only have Sunday to review.
What? So Saturday, I will take only 1 hour lecture. Then I'll give you a half. Okay. This review I'll do maybe on Friday afternoon itself. Okay. Maybe 1 hour lectures, then we will done. You can go for preparation for your midterm. Okay. That way we'll schedule. Your exam is on Monday. That Sunday you need to study for your exams. Any other questions?
So the midterm examination will be content on the content we study from Monday to
Friday. Yes. Yes. Any other questions? Okay. Question? Okay. Okay. So here is your resources. So you can go to your resources high site. So there will be syllabus and schedule, and you have a daily lecture slides. So when you come over here, there is a lecture folder. So inside the lecture folder, we have a lesson 1, lesson 2. Okay, so every PDF file is here. You can check it in advance if some people will do the reading previous day. So everything is here, and the demo codes. So every demo codes are compressed file. Okay. I put a package name compress. I'll tell you about how to upload on your IDE. So the preferred IDE for this course is Eclipse, but you can go with your own choice, IntelliJ or NetBeans, whatever you want. You can go with your choice, whatever you like. Okay. So the minimum JDK requirement is 10 or 11 is enough, but you can go with 17, whatever latest version, you can go with it. Okay. Okay. Then you can download every day the file. Maybe let's go with the today's. You can download this file. It will come as a compressed file. I'll tell you when I discuss with the coding part about how to use this coding. Okay, then anything else? You can see the book resources here. Daily notes, sometime I will type it on a board. Now we are not using a board. I will use some text editor. Whatever I give a type notes, that will be available here. Okay, every day, whatever I'm typing. Okay, any other questions here? Paper, I told you already. It's all in paper. Okay. We'll talk about exam later. Okay. Don't worry about today. Okay. So let's go over today's lecture. The day 1. Object-oriented paradigm for building software solutions. Wholeness of this lesson. In an over paradigm of programming, execution of a program involves object interacting with other objects. Analysis is the process of understanding user requirements and discovering which objects are involved in the problem domain and their relationship, attributes, and behaviors. Design turns this discovered object into a web of software objects from which a fully functioning system is built. Each object has a type which is embodied in Java class. The same way of SEA knowledge, the intelligence underlying the functioning of any software object resides in its underlying class, which is the silent basis for the dynamic behavior of object. Likewise, pure consciousness is the silent level of intelligence that underlies all explosions of intelligence in the form of thoughts and actions in life. So this is before over programming. we have a procedural programming, right? Did you heard about procedural programming? Any idea about procedural programming? It's a functions, right? Some procedures. We can call that procedures to perform some task. So in early days, we have a procedural programming, convert your real world program logic into some several sub-functions. So if my problem is bigger, I can divide that into several functions. So this is function oriented or procedural program. Then if that function one is bigger, we are dividing into another sub-functions. Then finally, we need to combine the solutions, right? This is the procedural oriented. But when you come for object oriented analysis and design, we are easily convert the real world entities into object. Okay, for example, take this table. I want to convert it into a Java code, right? So my class is table. What kind of attributes you need? Table has a height and width, right? And what kind of behavior I can do with this table? I can move it. I can keep stuff, right? So whatever you take, if you take a person, I can easily translate into Java object. So that's called as an object-oriented programming. Every object can interact with another object by using behavior or service. So let me ask you, what is your name? What's your name? Huh? Atu? Okay. If I ask him, he is responding, right? This is called services. If I have an object called car, right? If I want to start, what I need to do? Turn on the key, right? What happened? Your car will get started, right? Or press the button. Some response. So every object can interact with another object by some service or behavior. How human interact with other, right? I want to interact with my machine. I need to write some classes and every object. I want to get a name. If it is a person object, what I need to do? Person dot get name. That is the behavior. Orally, I ask you the same way. Your object need to give a response, need to return a name. I need some get behavior. So this is called as objects can interact with other objects. So for example, take this picture. It is an object for a car. Okay. So car has a brake. When you press the brake, what happened? It has to stop the tire. When I do start the engine, now what happened? Tire needs to start move. So we have several car is a whole class, right? I have several objects for that class car. So I can interact each with each other. So that's called as an object-oriented program. Okay, object-oriented principles. Every object have state, behavior, and identity. So let's go for your notes. Okay, so when you take an object, has its own state. What do you mean by state of the object is the value currently held by the object. For example, take a person is a class. P1 is an object of a person which has the first name and last name. So what is the status of P1? P1 has the status of first name as Renuka and last name as Mohanraj. This is called as status. What the value currently held by the object is called status of the object. So if I want to call a name, I want to read a name. So I can call get first name or last name behavior. Okay, I'm going to create another object person P2 with the same name. Now here we have the next statement is object have state. Any question on what is status of object? Anybody? Are you clear with this concept? What the value currently held by the object is called status. Behavior, you know, right? Some services, right? What is identity? That's what we are going to learn. Okay. So there is two objects here. Yes. Sorry. I can't hear you properly. Can you repeat? Create difficult? Brightness. The brightness, that's what I call the technical team from Saturday. Okay. But the PowerPoint is good, right? I mean, when you do the present brightness, can someone adjust with this one? Okay, if anybody can do this one, some brightness adjustment, it's probably no operate. Okay, if anybody know, you can adjust the brightness. I did that also in Saturday. How about now? How about now? It's good enough. Okay. Okay. But it's difficult for me to see something here. Yes. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so where do we stop here? Any questions here? Good. Okay. So now let's talk about what is identity. We have two objects here, P1 and P2, right? Did you notice the values of P1 and P2? Both are same, but we cannot say both are equal, right? Same. Because P1 is a different object. P2 is a different object. Even if they have the same value, both has its own identity. Because P1 is stored somewhere in the memory, right? P2 has its own memory, right? So that's called as identity. Even if the object has same value, but each object has its own identity. Because whenever I use a new keyword, what will happen? It allocates a new memory for the object person P1. Maybe the P1 object resides in the address of 00AB. The P1 is resides in the address of 00A1 somewhere. Every object has its own identity. That's the meaning of identity. Any question on this line?
Calculate by using store the main heap of.
Okay, every objects are stored in the heap memory. Objects are in the heap memory.
Yes, what identity we understand is it like comparing the object or storing the object.
Storing an object. Okay, if you want to compare, or then you have to override equals. That is a different thing. So now what we are saying is, whenever you have an object P1 and P2, if you use a new keyword, it will be different identity. P1 has its own identity. P2 has its own identity. Even the values are same. That's the mean. We are not talking about overriding or comparing. Whenever you use a new keyword to create an object, every object has its own identity. Any questions here? Okay. So encapsulation and data hiding. So if I want to secure my information, your object, okay, so encapsulation means to get the benefit of information hiding, make your field as private and behavior as public. So all the fields as private and your behavior as public. I need some light in the middle so I can type. It's very difficult for me. Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is enough for me too. Okay. So when you are doing some encapsulation means when you take a class is a template, right? What the class includes? Class includes attributes and behaviors, right? So both are encapsulated inside the class. So that's called encapsulation, right? Attributes and behaviors are encapsulated inside the class. Encapsulator inside the class. So if I want to secure my information, the rule is always keep your field as private and behavior as public. So that's all about encapsulation knowledge. And inheritance for reusability that we will talk about in third day. And polymorphism and late binding. Also one object can behave in multiple forms. So delegation, everything we will be discussing in the future chapters. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Information ID. Okay. Now, this is the principles. And what we are going to do it now is we are going to talk about how the objects is interact with each other. No worry about the implementation part, but the idea is how objects are interact with each other. Let's see this diagram, right? We have different objects, how it interact with each other. Just getting that idea, we are going to see the demo, which is called object demo. And I go to IDE. Okay. So there is a demo lecture file you downloaded. Okay, when I go to downloads. So you have a compressed file. So you need some software to decompress it. So you can right click on this file and you can decompress it. So I think lesson 1. Okay, you will get the folder like this. Okay. So maybe the main we can extract here instead of extract to the lesson 1. Okay. So Okay, let's see. When you download it here, you have a lecture slide, right? So I recommend you to create a package called lesson one and just drag these folders in your ID. Okay, create a new project and just I recommend you to copy and paste this packages in your IDE, but you should have a package name called lesson one because I'm not compressed all thing as a project because it's all a folders. Okay, did you get the point? If it is a project, you can export a project, but these are all packages. So create any project, but the name of the package name I would like to create as a lesson one, then just copy and paste it. Then you won't get any conflict issue. Okay, so this is what you need to do. Okay, let's go to our demo here. Please listen here. Okay, go to your here inside this object demo, we have several classes. So just we gain an idea of how objects interact with each other. Okay, so inside this package, I have a customer class. I have an account class. I have random numbers class main. There are 4 classes. Okay, so if the main class create an object of a customer, so the main is asking the customer to get an object. So the customer class want to create an account, it has to call account. So if the account want to get an ID, it has to call random number. So this way, every object can interact with other object by passing a message. Let's go to your customer class. So here you have a customer class. Is it visible on the back or you want to zoom more? Is it fine on the back side? Okay. So a customer has a name and a checking account. So inside this class, I have a name field and the checking account as an object of account. And I have a constructor here to initialize the name. And if I want to get a name, it is going to return a name. If I want to create an account, this is called calling in another object, right? New account. So what will happen is it is going to call another object. So now customer object is interacting with the account object by calling a behavior which is called as create account. So this is the behavior. So a customer object interact with the account object by calling create new account behavior. So when you go to the account class, account has an ID and balance. So if I want to generate an ID, I'm going to use generate ID method, which is going to use random number. So this is an idea of how objects interact with each other. Okay. So to generate a random number, I have a random numbers class, which is a random object because I don't want to call this constructor outside. So we keep it as a private. And to get a random integer, I'm going to, if my object is null, I'm going to return any random number, but we are going to use a random number between the range. So when you see call here, I'm going to generate an account number in this range. So it's going to call get random integer of this method. We apply some logic to generate a number within this lower and upper range. So some logic we apply. So this is the way how objects can interact with another object. So when you go to the customer class, we have some other behavior. If I want to make a deposit, you need to call the method called update balance of this amount. When I do withdraw, I'm going to pass negative because I want to deduct, right? Withdraw means I want to update my balance. To check balance, I'm going to call checking account dot balance. Let's go to our main class. We created a one customer with the name Bob and create a new account, which means it is going to call account object to get the account. So this is called as object interacting with others. So I make a deposit of 5,000. I withdraw 1,500. So I'm going to print the ID and get the balance, read the ID and balance. I'm going to print the details. Let's run this code. Okay. So it print the ID. So I initially deposited 5,000, then I withdraw 1,500. The remaining balance is 3,500. So this is an idea of how objects interact with each other. So this is what we are going to learn, how to make several classes and objects, how to interact with each other. Just an idea of how objects interact with each other. Any questions here? And what is the purpose of going for object-oriented programming? The idea we'll get more benefits. One is easy to maintain and easy to extend and reuse with the concept of inheritance, and we can easily understand. So if you see the diagrams, right, that's what we use a UML design. So if I look at this diagram, I can easily understand how each objects interact with each other. So that's what we are learning designing also in this. Okay. So we will do some problem requirements to understand this idea. First thing is we have to do analysis. What does that analysis means? If I have some problem, first I need to understand the problem and identify the requirements. So that's called as analysis. Then we want to design this one. After analysis, we have to identify the objects and how objects are interact with each other to meet the user requirement. This is what we are going to learn today. So for that, first step is user requirement analysis. So we are going to work with the student registration system for this week. That's what I gave you a handout. Did everybody receive the handout? Okay. So first thing is analysis. We first step is what kind of problem we have. Read the problem requirements. Not now. Okay. Don't read it now. Okay. Just listen here. The first step is understand the problem requirements, what it needed. The second step is further analysis. We have to create a static model, which is from the problem requirements, we are going to identify the domain classes. We are going to develop a class diagram. That is our next step. The third step is we are going to add a relationship that we will be doing tomorrow with association. After identifying the domain classes, we need to identify the relationship between those classes. That is your third step. Association and dependencies between the classes. That is our tomorrow's topic. Okay. Today we are going to do the first two steps. So this is our software development lifecycle step. What is the next further step is? That is our chapter 4. We are going to make a dynamic model with the analysis of class models. We are going to build a sequence diagram. So that way, how many objects are interact with the system and what is the responsibilities of each object, we can easily identify by creating a sequence diagram. So further enhancements, after identifying this, we have to make a relationship between that by applying a inheritance concept or interface concept or abstract class. So further, we are going to make a hierarchy with this. That is our next step. And the last step, once our design is ready, we can able to deploy into Java code, implement into a Java code. So these are the steps we are going to do it. Okay. So for this step, let's take a break for 10 minutes. I recommend you to give me a moment. So I gave you the handout, right? So 10 minutes time for break and read out that requirement for 10 minutes. Okay. 11:10, we will again continue the session. Okay. Before that, any questions? Okay, the behavior is different, identity is different. Okay, so the behavior means, okay, let's take this class. Okay, go to your, okay, let me go. Okay, look at this one. Okay, so you have one customer object with the name Bob, right? So it is called as status. Customer is an object, right? Which has the status of name Bob and the balance is 3,500 and the ID is 8259. This is an identity of the object and also this is the status. What is that behavior means? This is your object, right? Object dot. You are going to call create new account, make a deposit. This is called behavior. When you go to your customer, what we encapsulated is attributes and behaviors. So the get name, create new account, make deposit. These are all behavior. Clear now? Okay. Okay. 11:10. We will start the session. Before that, take a break and read the requirements, whatever I have given to you. Okay.